before Jesus' time. He was before Buddha. Very wise man who talked about the seeming opposites. But his message was that there really is no such thing. The masculine and the feminine are all contained within the one thing. They're not two separate things. So as we're recreating it, let's know that they're not, one is way over there and one is way over there. Masculine and feminine kind of work together. So as we recreate one, we're actually recreating the other. So I said earlier that we see already that the culture is changing, and that's so good. And Anna and I were talking about this morning, how the young people, especially when it comes to parenting, are starting to change that. In my generation, it was always the mother who took the kid everywhere. If anybody was going to stay home, it was the mother. And, earlier, people that are older than me, even more so. But, it was always the moms bringing their kids to school. Or in my dance studio, it was always the moms bringing their kids. The woman said, "I'm pregnant." Have you noticed there's a change in verbiage about that? Couples are now saying, "We're pregnant." We're pregnant. I remember the first time I heard a man say that, "We're pregnant," I thought, "You are?" Because it was kind of it took me aback for a moment. But the men are getting involved in it. You see now, again, my dance studio, the men are bringing their kids to the dance studio. Sometimes the woman makes more money, so she's the one working and he's staying home. All kinds of things are changing now, and I think it's wonderful. I think it's wonderful that dads say we're pregnant, and that dads are saying, "Let me be involved in the raising of my child." My father was a good man, and he was there, but he didn't raise me. He was always at work. My mom raised me, and that was just typical of our generation. My dad was a good provider. Somebody used that word. He was a great provider. In his mind, that was his role. He is to provide. He did. We had a home, we had food, we had clothes, we had Christmas presents. He provided. But he wasn't the one who taught me about life. My mom was. And how wonderful that nowadays dads, I'm looking at Lamont up there, very involved in his little girl's life. You've all watched Inez grow up in front of our eyes. She's not here today, but we've all watched her grow up. And Lamont's very involved. How many of you as a young dad are very, very involved in your child's life? Anybody, any young dads in here? If Richard was here, he'd be yelling for Anthony. Okay, how about older dads? Any older dads that are very involved in your kid's life? How many are involved in their grandkids' life? Wow. So men, if you have kids in your life, I encourage you to get a little more involved. If you have it, maybe you don't have grandkids, but be there. Get involved in their lives so that you become part of the new emergence of the masculine and feminine ideas. The roles that I'm talking about, the strict roles of masculine and feminine, we see them in America as being this very separated idea, but it wasn't always that way. In this country right here, who was here before the European Christians? The Native American Indians, right? They were here first. Well, I've done some research recently, and I actually posted this on Facebook, so some of you may have already seen this, is that they did not have masculine, feminine, female, man-woman roles the same. They actually, supposedly, didn't do a lot of research, but a little bit of research, that there was actually 5 genders that they identified. Female, male, 2-spirit female, 2-spirit male, and in some other word, transgender. That word wasn't available to them yet, but something that said a person who might look one way on the outside but feel a different way on the inside. And get this, I've heard this for a long, long time, that the 2-spirit people were often what now we call the gay people. The 2-spirit people, 2-spirit female or 2-spirit male, were revered. They were revered as the sacred ones. Because the androgynous principle that shows up in that kind of a person was, they thought it to be, oh, you understand both sides. You understand the masculine and the feminine. You're 2-spirit. You get this. They were held up and revered. The European Christians came along and changed all that. And said, you have to fit over there or over there. It's really interesting. When I was a kid, I always resonated with the Native Americans. Always. When I would hear things in history, I identified with the Native Americans, not the settlers, not the pilgrims. When I was a little kid, I ran around with my moccasins on and my little beaded headband on. And I had my little Indian doll figurines. and I didn't know why, I just liked it. I liked the beat of the drums and the tomahawks, and I liked everything Native American. So now I kind of fast forward and I go, well, that's why, because they revered me. I was a sacred being in their culture.
You can share what your dad used to call you.
I can share what my dad used to call me, that's right. When I was a kid, because of the way I like to dress, he called me Makashani. That was my nickname for years, Makashani. I mean, the little moccasins, you know, that have a little fringe hanging off, I used to love those. I wore those for years. Makashani, every once in a while, they still call me that, actually. But I have always resonated more with the Native American people. And I love that I did it. They didn't have the boxes. Interesting to know that it was the European Christians who brought that in. So in a relatively short time span, what's our country now, 200 and some years old? It's not that old. Just that little bit of time ago, it was different. And so we put people in the boxes. We can take them right back out of the boxes. We can know that things are much more diverse than that. I have a niece-in-law, Becky's niece, who for her doctoral dissertation, she did her whole thesis, her whole work on gender nonconformity. Really fascinating stuff. And she says, I can't even tell you all, but there's way more than 2, and there's way more than 5 gender identities. So I want you to be aware that you're going to start hearing out there in the world things like gender nonconformity. That's a word, that's a thing. You're going to start to hear non-binary. The young people coming onto the planet are really resisting this whole idea, is I'm a man or I'm a woman. It's like, well, I'm androgynous. Or why do I have to say what I am? Not just transgender, but people who might look completely feminine, let's say, but inside they identify both ways. I think that's the way it should have been all along, actually, and then the boxes happen. Boxes are going away. So be listening for these words now. Gender nonconformity, a whole slew of others where the young people are not feeling the need to fit in those boxes. And I said, yeah, good for them. You don't have to fit in those boxes. Again, think of the yin-yang symbol. Both exist in the one. Why not? So if you're a person who says, yeah, I might be a woman, but I feel very much those things you said, the strength and the provider, and I'll stand by you and all those things. Or if you're a man and you say, yeah, but I feel very sensitive and I like to touch people very gently. And I feel that softness inside me. Say yeah. Embrace all of it, because we get to create it however we want to create it. And so I want us to visualize how we might want to create it for just a moment. So I'm going to invite you to close your eyes. We'll do just a little guided visualization here. And so first, as you close your eyes, let your body settle in. So check your body real quick and just see if there's any place holding on to any tension, and ask it to relax so that your body is not being attended to. And then allow yourself to take some deep breaths, because it allows you to be fully present. And then ask your inner eyes, your inner visionary self to open up. If you don't see pictures, that's all right. Get a sense of it, feel it in some way, shape, or form. If you can see pictures, by all means, see it in full Technicolor. And whatever way you can, really deeply anchoring into your visionary self. And with this concept of masculine and feminine, with this idea of recreating it, I invite you to first call to your mind and heart, what about the masculine aspect of me is working for me really well? Man or woman, doesn't matter. What about the masculine aspects of me that work really good? Just take a moment in silence and know that. And as that comes to mind, bless it, embrace it, give thanks for it. Keep it. If it's working for you in the best way, by all means, keep it. And now I'm going to ask you to think of the opposite. What of the masculine qualities, aspects of myself are not working for me? The aspects that I might want to recreate. Just take a moment and know that.